And away we go. It is the Nightcap, Sunday night edition right here on BearcatJournal.com, brought to you, as always, by our good friends at Hail Mary Sports Bar, located in Cheviot, right on the main drag, Harrison Avenue. They're in the Dora District. You can walk from bar to bar with your drinks, or you can stay at Hail Mary's. They've got 27 TVs, a 9-screen video wall, and there's not a bad seat in the house. They have every sports package that DirecTV offers, and they will have every Cincinnati sports game on the 9-screen video wall. They got a brand new walk-in cooler, a brand new draft line system, and not only do they pour the coldest beer around, they do it in 32.8 degree beer frosted glasses. So go see our good friends, Hail Mary Sports Bar in Cheviot. Hi, Aaron.
Yep.
How are you?
It's the end of the weekend. They're nowhere near long enough.
It was nice to have a weekend. I went and for those that don't know, my brother's a pro wrestler, and he was back. He was wrestling in town. They actually had the thing at the Florence Y'alls Stadium.
Oh, that's fun outside.
Yeah. So they drew like over 800 people, and he was in the heavyweight championship match. It's wrestling. He can't be there all the time, so he can't be the champion. That's how that works. But it was fun. Had a good time, and then went to Kroger today and did some stuff around the house that I didn't get to for 3 weeks. So
sounds about right.
Back on the grind. We got volleyball. The first volleyball game of the season tomorrow is like 20 minutes north of Louisville.
Yeah, we got our first football game of the season on Friday coming up. So we're home, which is like a 5-minute drive.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get this going. You wanna drive tonight? Sure. My brain has not been in. I turned off sports mode for most of the day today. So
well, I don't blame you. With the way the Reds played all weekend, I don't blame you.
Like I told you, I maybe saw 5 pitches all weekend.
That's more than I watched.
Yeah, I didn't care. Well, it was just on in passing at a couple places. Like I did not sit down and watch at all. No thanks.
Scoreboard watching, and I was all the way out. In any case, let's do this show. We'll save that for Tuesday. So the show that I want to do tonight is kind of the callback to the first show that we did at the beginning of camp, and kind of talk about what questions we have answered and what questions that maybe we have now after camp. Okay. So I want to start off at the quarterback position. Do we think that we have a dude at this point? Can Brendan Sorby be the guy?
So I've been thinking about this a lot because I've had a lot of people ask me, everybody wants to know about the quarterback situation.
Sure.
I think it's more nuanced than just do they have a dude or not. Do I think they upgraded a quarterback? Yes. Do I think they have a guy that is immensely talented, size, arm strength, can run the ball, seems to make pretty good decisions? Yeah, I do. What I wonder, though, is how far, when I think of a dude, I think of a guy that's started a season and a half or 2 seasons worth of games and is deep in his development, or like a first round draft pick, like one of the, that guy's going to be da 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 da. Do I think he's that? No. So I am confident they have the answer at quarterback, but I don't know where we are at in that process for him to be a finished product or more of a you know what I mean? The type of player he's going to be towards the end of his college career. I think he might have quite a bit more upside than where we're even at right now.
Good.
Because he's only started 7 games in his career. So he has the measurables, he has the arm. I think he's a really good athlete. From everything I know, from people inside the program and from some people around town that are not in the program that have had dealings with him, I think they have the right guy. I also think I don't want to see this get off the rails if it takes him a little while to get going. Like, I think we just jump in this, the question is Brendan Sorby a dude? The answer is, I think everything points to him becoming a dude. But I don't know that he's a dude yet. And I think everybody just hears that, yes, I think he's a dude. And then they're going to expect 4,000 yards and like 26 touchdowns this year.
All right. We're just trying to keep it short to keep this within our 20 minutes.
I'm just saying, like, that's,
I
think that's important to talk about. This is a guy that started 7 games. And let's let him become a guy that started 20 games before, a bad quarter has the fan base up. Satterfield got the wrong guy. That's dead. They don't know what they're doing. Like, let him cook.
Or booing him off the field or something stupid.
You're catching my drift.
Yeah. Halfback. Do we have anything behind Corey Kiner?
Yeah. I mean, Evan Pryor has been solid. I've been really impressed with Chance Williams, who I think has had a great 3 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks of camp. Kiner hasn't done a ton. So Chance Williams has been out there quite a bit, and he's looked really good catching the ball, running the ball. I think Manny Covey had a really good end to camp, and I think they might have found something short yardage goal line with Victor Dawson. Kid just kind of has a knack for being able to push forward. So, yeah, I think they're fine.
Frank Gore, get you 3 to 4 yards at a time.
I'm talking like 2 to 3. Like, he just has that thing where he gets, he has the angle right and can move his body and push forward to get you a yard or two.
All right. Receiver, upgrade.
We'll see. I think the talent's better. I think they're deeper. I think they have more options. I think it was hard to fully judge the receiver room last year because at times there were a bunch of dudes running open and the quarterback didn't have time, or when he did have time, he missed. So, thinking back to that, I remember a lot of the conversation being, if you look, there's guys running open. Like,
at some point you stop running open because the ball ain't coming to you.
Right. Or you just keep running open and the quarterback keeps not getting it to you. And then everybody says, well, then the wide receivers weren't getting much separation. I remember a good deal of separation last year. Maybe that's just because those were the balls that never made it anywhere in the vicinity of the guy that was running open.
Or that was the play that you needed to
right.
win the game, extend the drive, etc. Tight end. I don't even think I need to ask you that. I think we all know Joe Royer has been fantastic, and I think that
he's been a rock star.
That's been the highlight reel of the entire camp. Offensive line, not returning all 5 starters.
We knew this coming in. We talked about it. We couldn't say it outright, but every indication from the end of spring to the start of summer was that Philip Wilder was going to get, if not just a legitimate chance, like he's going to be the front runner at right tackle. And that's what we've seen play out. We talked about it heading into camp, that was maybe the one to definitely keep an eye on. And it's, he showed up at camp and from day one, he was the right tackle. So yeah, that Buford was good in the run game. He struggled blocking pass protection, and you can't have guys just coming off the right side flying at your quarterback. And so they had to get better there. I think they did. I don't know based on question number 1 here.
Yeah. Well, on the other side of the ball, let's flip the script on you a little bit, and we'll start at cornerback. Cornerback was probably arguably the worst position on the roster last season, as far as
I would argue against it. I think that I think safety was even worse than I think cornerback was bad. And I think safety was worse.
And I don't think I guess I don't think you can actually talk about one without the other. So maybe we'll pivot on this question a little bit and just talk about the entire secondary. It has to be better than last season, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a completely different look. You're taking out the nickel, so you're not going to have that fifth back at the line of scrimmage. Instead, you're going to have a third back, a defensive back in the middle of the field that kind of is expected to be able to run and cover and to be able to come up and stop the run. That changes the math on what you need on the field and the type of athletes you need. Mm-hmm. Corner, they've had a pretty good camp. I've had no glaring issues with Jordan Young, or Monty Arnold, or Kalen Carroll. They've been beat at times. They have not been perfect by any stretch. Yeah, I know. There's so many passes in camp that you have to remind yourself, okay, they got beat twice last week. Eventually somebody is going to run by you.
Well, and you're also not running nearly as much as you would be in a game situation, as opposed to.
Yeah, well, you're running way more in camp. Yeah, maybe not as hard, but
no. I mean, running the ball. You're not going to be.
Yeah. I thought you meant physically.
No. They're running
the run game. Yeah,
yes.
I mean that's been different from camp to camp. I think with this camp, you can run the ball. So you don't have to spend a whole you're not that's what you did last year. You have almost all the same cast of characters back. Go run the ball. So yeah, that's part of it as well. But I think corner's been good. I think that's one of those spots where I need to see it to fully, embrace turning the corner at both field and boundary corner. Safety has been really, really good throughout camp, and not just the twos, and even at times down to guys that are subbing in for the twos. I think there's 8, 9 safeties that, if they needed to play, they could play. And I think there's 6 that are better than anything they had last year.
I think those two positions are going to improve the other position as they work together. I think they're really one big play away from just having a giant confidence boost for everyone, and I think they need that soon.
Yeah, I don't know. The hardest thing, confidence boost doesn't mean much if your talent stinks. I think we're in a position now where the talent has risen to the point that a confidence boost makes a difference. Yeah. Because then you have good players playing well, playing with confidence. Bad players playing with confidence are usually just still bad players.
Then we move on to the defensive line, as obviously the news with Dante Corleone was probably the biggest question mark going into camp. We know a little bit more there, but that still remains to be seen. But overall, the position group has been decimated by injury. Are they going to be okay?
I think so. They looked a little different Friday once you had Cam Rutherford come back and you had Cam Wilson come back. Both had been dealing with, injuries from the earlier part of camp or the off season. So it looked a little different once you had those two guys kind of back in the mix. It's still obviously this all revolves around Dante, and even more so now that Jalen Hunt is out, now that
Michael
Coleman, yeah. With those two guys done for the season, even more pressure on Dante getting back as soon as possible. We'll have our first weekly press conference, not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday with Scott Satterfield. And I'm sure somebody's going to ask.
Question number 1.
Yeah. Give us an update.
Linebacker. is linebacker wasn't necessarily a glaring issue last season, but it wore down as the season went on.
There was just no depth. There was, 3 guys that could play, and then there wasn't a whole lot behind them. And you're seeing that like, no, Jonathan Thompson was a guy that towards the end got forced into action and made the most of it.
Yeah.
And I think him and Brian Sims are going to be a fantastic duo at one of those outside linebacker spots. Sims has been a revelation in this camp. We probably should have talked about how good he's been even more than what we did. But if you got those 2 guys and then you have Golday and Bartlett in the middle, and then you got Dingle and Coleman or whoever is in that 6th spot on the other side, you feel great about your athleticism, about your length, about your ability to kind of to rotate and get your second unit out there so your first unit's not wearing down without a significant drop off. I think linebackers in a good spot.
Special teams, kicker wasn't really an issue, so I don't think there's any question there. But we were a little concerned with what happened with Fletch last season. We knew that there was an injury, but all signs are pointing to he's all the way back.
He's all the way back, and then his backup is maybe better.
And then
if not maybe.
Kick return, punt return game. How are we feeling there?
They don't do any of it live, so there's a bunch of options. I don't know who they're going to pick.
I was going to say I saw some new names back there.
There's a good chance, I think, if they go this route, Masari would be kind of a safe play on punt returns. Good hands, good instincts. Get out there, call a fair catch the ball. Don't give it to the other team. Don't make bad decisions. Like, I think he would give them a security blanket if they go that route. And then maybe if you're down 10 in the 4th quarter and you need a playmaker, you put one of the speed guys back there to try to hit you a home run. But Masari, I could see returning punts. Kickoffs, we'll see. It's just not something they spend a lot of time on. Like, they have guys back there, but they're rotating and they're not ever doing anything live to begin with. So that's a difficult one.
So what new questions do you have as we are preparing to enter the season now in less than 2 weeks?
I mean, I think it's simple. Can they pass protect? Can they give Sorsby time? And can they stop the run defensively? And that's probably going to be it's not going to be a matter of like they can do it with 4. It's probably going to be it takes a village to raise a respectable run defense in this conference. And it's going to take help from safety. It's going to take help from linebacker to step up and be a solid. They're not. I don't have any illusion that they're going to be a dominant run defense this year.
Sure.
But if they can be okay, then the rest can kind of come together. If they're giving up 5.5 yards a carry, and teams are just, 2-play first downs down the field, things could get rough.
I think if we learned anything about Coach Veit, he's not going to be okay with things getting rough.
No, it's not. Like it's just a matter of numbers and bodies and playing in a conference right now that has a bunch of dominant run games.
Sure.
Yep. That's more than like I think they're bad. I think they have a numbers quality issue, and man, this league runs the ball. Oof.
Nothing you can do about that. Injuries happen.
Stop it. So. Yeah. And stop the run. Good luck.
All right.
But I don't have to do it.
You're off the hot seat.
Thanks. See you tomorrow. Nico, tomorrow. That's the nightcap. Brought to you by Hail Mary Sports Bar, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!